DC is about to go through or is exploring going through an overhaul. Okay. This has been reported now. You know that DC is, with the whole Discovery thing and the merger that's happening with that. DC being part of Warner Media is where shit gets interesting.
I don't think DC's been making the best
Business decision. Hell, Marvel hasn't either. They just they caught lightning in a bottle going into the 2010s, and they have been able to sell a lot based upon that. However, things are about to get fucking interesting. Now, I want to be clear here. I'm not telling anybody. In fact, I reject the notion in its entirety that we should be, or people should be, thinking that Discovery is going to save fucking DC. Fuck them. Let them run it into the ground. But they do recognize that there's a problem. Covering this from Variety, this exclusive. The new owners of all things Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are exploring an overhaul of DC Entertainment. Multiple sources close to the situation told Variety. It has been less than a week since Discovery closed its $43 billion deal for Warner Media, joining one of the largest producers in reality programming with one of the most venerable entertainment brands under the new moniker of Warner Bros. Discovery. David Zaslav, the CEO of the combined companies, and top leadership have been toying with the idea of turning DC into its own solidified content vertical, a source said. The move will potentially affect DC feature film development in Warner Bros. Pictures Group, streaming series at Warner Bros. Television, and a creative arm within DC proper, all in an effort to have the disparate elements more closely aligned in order to maximize the value of the superhero stable, one often seen as punching up against Marvel. Before the merger closed, Zaslav vetted the candidates with experience in creating and nurturing blockbuster intellectual property with a goal potentially finding someone to serve as creative and strategic czar, similar to what Marvel has in Kevin Feige. So, look, all this is, and this is why I'm telling you, like, don't even get your hopes up with this shit company, because really all that's going on here is that they're more interested in, is mega corporation, right? So they're more interested in the bottom line. How can we turn this property or utilize this property to make us a bunch of fucking money? And yeah, you can often do that, but you don't have to necessarily sacrifice lore and other aspects that super fans actually care about, which you know is exactly what they're going to sacrifice. They're for sure going to sacrifice exactly that. To them, and this is why I don't give a shit about any of this anymore, because to them, it's just a brand, right? That's it. It's just a brand with name recognition. What can we do with that? And if it can make us a little money, then that's what it is that we're going to do. But they care about that more than certainly anything else, and how they can use that. So yeah, you're probably going to get still goofy versions of these characters that certainly nobody fucking asked for, and I'm not interested in. One of the candidates included Emma Watts, a former top executive of 20th Century Studios and Paramount, but it does not appear that Watts will take the job. One insider suggested that Zaslav was less interested in finding a creative guru and more eager to hire someone who had the type of business background needed to keep the various factions of DC working more harmoniously. And DC does have, like, definitely with its movies and shit, there's no level of continuity there. I mean, hell, let alone the comic books, but no level of continuity between, you have, like, because everything, they went all in on, like, the whole DC multiverse shit. So, like, you got Batman comes out, but this Batman ain't tied to the Batman you literally just saw the previous year, and all types of goofy shit like that. Like, that's what happens when you just, all right, we're throwing shit at the wall and we hoping it sticks. DC has achieved cinematic success with Aquaman and the Batman. It lacks coherent creative brand strategy, which is what they care about. Discovery believes that several top shelf characters such as Superman have been left to languish and need to be revitalized. Yeah, they don't. I've said this before. They have no idea what to do with Superman. And they hire Ta-Nehisi Coates to write a story. They have no idea. If I tell you what, If Discovery actually gave a shit, they would scrap that project immediately. Cut their fucking losses. Like, yeah, we paid y'all to write these scripts. They gave J.J. Abrams and fucking Ta-Nehisi Coates basically keys to the kingdom of one of the most popular superheroes of all time. If they had a nutsack, they would be like, it's a wash. Like, thanks for your service, but that was just therapeutic for you. We'll give you your money to do the project, but we ain't putting that shit out. They also believe that projects like Todd Phillips' Joker are a shining example of how a second-built character from the DC library can and should be exploited. But yeah, some of these were dead on arrival like birds of prey. Zaslav is pledged to find $3 billion in synergies in a newly merged company, a signal of how important cost-cutting will be to Warner's new owners. Mining DC's library of characters could help control the spending as Warner Bros. Discovery owns the underlying intellectual property. Which, yeah, that makes sense. So, like I said, guys, these guys are in the business of making fucking money at the end of the day. Even when they do goofy shit, they just think they're going to make money, and that's why they do goofy shit. That's it. But I would never trust DC, again for that matter, unless it got in the hands of people that actually gave a shit about the product and the sanctity of it. But that's not what we're dealing with. It's just a big corporate merger. And maybe the people that are now in control of it are more financially responsible. But that doesn't mean they actually care about the brand in itself and not looking at it as just another line item of how can they fucking make money off of something that's already have established IP. Yeah, I agree. You shouldn't be losing fucking money, yet having control. However, you consider the different routes that DC and Marvel have gone, I could totally understand how they can lose fucking money because they're retarded. You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.